Hello, welcome in. Running a little late today. My name is Tammy Mastroberte. I am the best-selling author of the book The Universe is Talking to You. Tap into signs and synchronicity to reveal magical moments every day. And in this video, I am talking about signs and synchronicities, and I wanted to come on here and share about two specific gifts that were given to me by my mother, who's passed away. So if you read my book The Universe is Talking to You, or you've heard me talk before, you know that my mom passed away when I was 22, suddenly from a brain aneurysm. And so that's what really launched me on the path. That's what led me eventually to write this book. And so I come on here every Thursday and I share, it's called Weekly Spirit Boost. And I share about signs, synchronicity, taming the chaos, getting unstuck. And I know I've been talking about that toolkit, and it is going to be available as of November 1st. So stay tuned for the Get Unstuck toolkit that I'll be launching soon, that will help you in 8 different areas of your life to get unstuck using spiritual tools. And I came on here today because I want to share with you 2 gifts that I received from my mother. One that I received right before she died, and I believe in my heart that the universe, spirit, had a hand in it. And the second one I actually received as a housewarming gift after she passed. And I've talked about that one in the past. You may have seen that on, I have a whole YouTube channel video about why you're not getting signs, and I share this other one. But if you haven't, you're going to hear the story again, or if you have, you'll hear the story again. But what I find is that there are no accidents, that the universe, our angels, our guides, they all sort of know what's ahead of us, what's coming, even when we don't. And on some level, our soul, I believe we are spiritual beings, our soul inhabiting these physical bodies. On some level, our soul also knows sort of what's coming, what's going on in the subconscious mind. And on some level, I think we know maybe when we might pass, or maybe just certain things, right? And so when you look back on someone who passed away, you think, oh my gosh, they did this, this, and this before they died. Or you hear a lot of stories like, I wonder if on some level he was preparing or she was preparing or something like that, even if it's a sudden passing. So interestingly enough, my mother passed away when I was 22. So I had recently graduated college that May, and she passed that December. And so what's interesting is that my sister had gotten married the year before that. So she had a house, and my mother was just, loved to shop, loved to buy things, loved to, especially for her house, right? Like for that Christmas, she went crazy and bought all these ornaments for her tree and bows and all this other stuff. And she was just so excited that she had a house. And so she had gone shopping September before she passed. And I'll never forget, she went to Pennsylvania with a friend of hers, and they went to all these different shops, and she came back with all this stuff from my sister's house and all of these different things. And at the time, I was still living at home. I had just graduated college. I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing or where I was going or any of that. But she went to this store, and she came home with 2 of these, and I'm going to show you, I have it next to me, 2 of these things. And she said to me, now meanwhile, she had bought all sorts of stuff from my sister's house. Never did she buy duplicates, or never did she say, I'm going to get, I'm going to get this for you and this for your sister, and then you can have this someday when you have a house. But she did with this particular item. And I'll never forget, she came home, and again, I was 22 years old. I wasn't even in a relationship at the time. I had no plans of buying a house. I just started a full-time job. And she had said to me, I bought this. It's just so great. I'm giving one to your sister, and I'm going to keep one here. And then when you leave and get your own place or get your own house, you can take it with you. And I remember thinking, like, that's random. Why would she do that? But I'm like, all right, I'll take it. Whatever. Like, it wasn't even on my radar. And again, I didn't think about it, even when she died. I didn't think about it till years later when I was going through stuff. But something in her thought to do this, and this is the only item that I have that I can honestly say my mother bought me for my house, or bought me for, you know, a wedding present or whatever it might be. Because it's the only thing she bought and specifically said to me, I'm going to use this, and then when you get a house, you can take it with you. This was months before she died. And I know in my heart that something in her, something in the universe, somebody whispered in her ear so that I would have something from my mother. Here's what it is. I want to show you guys what it is. So it's a Halloween decoration. Is she not cute? So and it lights up. I have it lit up. I have it plugged in. I'll show you what it looks like not lit up. Honestly, I don't even know where she found it. It was like some little store in Pennsylvania, I think. There we go. So that's her not lit up, and that's her lit up. So she has a pumpkin. It's a little bear. My sister has the exact one. It was so random that she decided to buy 2 of these. But here's the thing. I married someone who's obsessed with Halloween, who loves Halloween. We have more Halloween decorations than we do Christmas decorations. I am dead serious. Like, we have a Halloween party every year. Our house completely transforms into something else. It's insane. And out of all the things that she could have given me and said, I'm going to give you this, I can't tell if it's showing in the camera or not. She got me something for Halloween. And now every year, and I treasure it. It's on my kitchen counter. I'll post a picture in stories after this. It's literally on my kitchen counter because I don't want anybody to bump into it or touch it or break it or anything like that. She's totally adorable. She's not like creepy Halloween. We have a lot of creepy Halloween stuff here. But the point of the matter is, I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe she was meant to buy this so that I can say, and every year I take it out for Halloween. Every year I take it out and I say, my God, this is the one thing I have that my mother bought me that I knew she bought me for my house. And again, my husband loves Halloween. So we do when I tell you Halloween decorations. And so I just feel like it was meant. She was meant to get it for me. I was meant to have this. And it's not a coincidence that she did it a couple of months before she died, because I do believe something in her knew, I want to get something for my daughter for her house. I don't think she consciously knew anything, but I think there was something in her that knew, and I treasure this every year when I take it out. Now, let me move on to story number 2, right? So that's the first thing of where I just feel like there are no accidents. I just feel like many of you can think back to something like this, maybe that has to do with someone who passed away, that makes you think, oh, they must have known something, or, oh, that's so strange that they did this, or there's a moth in here. Dear Lord, go away. I'm on camera. I can't with the bugs. Okay, so the other story that I want to share, it just literally flew across the camera on Instagram. We live in the woods, God help me. So the other story that I want to share with you is a gift that I know. Now here, again, I told you, my sister got a house. My mother went crazy. She bought all this stuff. She loved to shop for it. If she was alive when when my husband and I purchased our home 3.5 years ago, she would have gone nuts. Okay? She would have gone nuts. She would have bought so many different things. She wasn't here. So we purchased the house, and I'm going to share with you a story of how she was able to get me a gift from the other side. And I believe this, again, 100%. And this also is an illustration of how we cannot talk ourselves out of stuff. Because I share this in The Universe is Talking to You. One of the biggest steps to getting signs and synchronicity is to say yes and accept them when they come, because we talk ourselves out of them, or we say, I don't know if that's really it, or that was a coincidence, but was it really this, or was it, I don't want to read into it, okay? So for this, we'd purchased a house, we were getting ready to move into it. I was online, and I had ordered a few things for the house. Like, I think I had ordered glasses, and like wine, not wine glasses, like tumblers, like regular beverage glasses, and a couple of different things from Pier 1 Imports, which I think is now online only. I think a lot of their stores closed, which is terrible because I love them. So I had ordered a bunch of stuff, and the box came, and I opened it up, and I pulled out a whole bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden I pulled out this mug. And it was a beautiful mug, but I didn't order this mug. And I was like, what is this? So then I started looking at the packing sheet, and something was missing that they should have shipped me. And instead of, and I don't remember what it was that was missing, but something was missing that they should have shipped me. And instead of shipping that to me, they put this random one mug. And so I was aggravated. Like at first I was like, you gotta be kidding me. What is this? I didn't order this. So I was getting ready to call them, and I'm going to show you the mug. I was getting ready to call them, and all of a sudden it hit me, and I said to myself, oh my gosh, wait a second. I think this mug is a gift from my mother. I think I was meant to get this mug. I'm going to show you the mug. Now, my mother's name was Mary Ann, and M also stands for mom, but it stands for Mary Ann. And anytime I hear her name, I know that it's a sign from her. She uses her name as a sign to get my attention. This is the mug that they shipped me. I don't know if you can, let me see if you can see it. I'll show Instagram first. Can you see that? And then, can you see that on Facebook? Beautiful mug with an M on it. And I was like, wait a second. Now, the skeptic in me could have said, oh, well, my last name is Mastroberte. But I didn't order this mug, you guys. And I know there's no way that they just decided, they were like, hey, this girl, she's buying stuff. Let me throw in a mug. No. Nobody was throwing in a mug for me, okay? This mug, I did not order, and it came. And I thought, oh my gosh, M for Marianne and for Mom. Like, I just got chills all over my body. So now I call Pier 1, and I said to them, listen, you guys sent me this mug. I didn't order this mug. Most people order a mug, by the way, with their first initial, too, I would think. Although maybe they do last names. I don't know. Anytime I order anything for my husband and me, his name's Ryan, I always get R&T. So I called them up. I said, you sent me this mug. I wasn't supposed to get this mug. And I'm also missing X, Y, and Z. I honestly can't remember what it was. And they said to me, oh my gosh, ma'am, I'm so sorry. We'll get that out to you right away. I'll have it shipped out today. We'll rush it, blah, 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 whatever. Never asked for the mug back, right? They never said to me, can you ship it back to us? Can you take it to a local store? Never asked for the mug back. And I hung up, and I expected them to say, oh, I'm so sorry, ship it back to us or take it to a store or whatever. Never asked for the mug back. So I said to my husband, I'm telling you, this was my mother's way of getting something to me that I would have in this house as a housewarming gift. I believe it 110%. However, I could have talked myself out of it, right? I could have said, oh, well, it was M for Mastroberte. But again, who packed my order that looked at my last name and said, I'm going to throw an M mug in there for her? No, nobody. Nobody was giving me a free mug. So somebody screwed up somewhere, and packed this mug and sent me this mug and then didn't ask for it back when I called them and said, hey, thanks so much, beautiful mug. I didn't order it. So I know that was her way of, yes, I have my little adorable little bear that was given to me, and I do believe this was not an accident that she decided to buy me something. Again, she bought my sister a trillion zillion things. Never once did she say, I'm getting one for you too, and I'm going to put it away for your own house. No. This she bought and said, I decided to get this too. I'm just going to use it myself in the house, but then when you buy a house, take it with you. And I was like, okay. And Halloween is huge at my house. I would have never known that I was going to marry somebody. I was 22 years old. I didn't meet my husband until I was 38. Never in a million years did I think I was going to marry somebody and Halloween was going to be a huge thing for us. Never. So I wanted to share with you those two stories because it shows the power of the universe lining things up, of the universe, our angels, our guides, knowing what's coming down the road, knowing all these years later that I would get this and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I remember my mother bought this for me. It's the only thing she ever bought that said, she said to me, take this with you. And obviously I've taken a bunch of her stuff, but this, she specifically said, I want you to take this with you. And again, the mug, how somebody had to accidentally pack it and then they never asked for it back. And it just was too crazy to not realize, oh my gosh, this was from my mother. This was something, of course, my husband's going to call me in the middle of the thing. This was something that was meant, that I was meant to have. Of course, here's the cat again. I haven't seen her all day in this office, by the way. But as soon as I go live, she's in here. So I just wanted to come on here and show you the power and the magic that is available to us when we start paying attention, when we start believing it and accepting it when it comes and not talking ourselves out of a mug or anything else strange that happens, and knowing that our loved ones are around and they are working overtime to get through and to show us. And again, my mother, as I said, I know it would have been so important to her, and she would have gone nuts for my new house, for my wedding, for all of it. She would have gone crazy. And she wasn't here to do it. So she made sure she left something before she died. And the universe made sure she left something before she died. And also, they're saying no sound on Instagram. Maybe because my husband called in. I'm not sure. It's showing that the mic is working. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry, you guys, on Instagram. But I just wanted to share that because it's such an incredible story. I don't know if you guys still have no sound on Instagram. I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix it because he called in and he screwed it up. And if I go out, then I think I'm going to lose this. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here to share those two stories with you. Let me look at some of the comments here. Yes, you can hear me on Facebook. Okay, I think it's just because my husband called in and messed up the Instagram feed. I have to put it on private or silent or whatever when I go live, the airplane mode or whatever you call it. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and share those two stories for you because it is Halloween, and I was looking at the the gift the other day, and I was like, oh, I really have to share this story. And I was going to do a series of stories on Facebook and Instagram, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to come on and show everybody and just give you the example of sort of the power and the magic and the things that we don't even realize or we don't even look into or we don't even give credit to that is happening around us. And that's why I wrote The Universe is Talking to You, and that's why I teach so many things that I teach, is that we have all of this help available to us. We have all of this magic happening around to us. And if we can open up to it, if we can start realizing it, your entire life changes. Everything you look at changes. Everything around you changes. And it's incredible. And it's fascinating to me. And that's why I love hearing all of the sign stories that you guys send me and share with me. And it's amazing. And so I'm not sure if Instagram sound came back or not. I don't think it did. So I am just going to say goodbye to Instagram. Sorry, you guys. My husband messed that up. But anyway, so I just wanted to come on here and share that with you. And just maybe it'll spark something in you, or maybe it'll make you pay attention to something going on around you, or maybe it will make you open up to something else or think into something else in your own life and start realizing, like, wow, this stuff, it really is happening around me and our loved ones are not gone. And yeah, isn't that adorable, the little Halloween thing, Susan? So anyway, that's really why I wanted to come on here, and that's really why I decided to share those stories with you, is because I treasure these things, and everything is lined up, you guys. Everything is happening for a reason. There's meaning behind everything, and there's so many of these stories in your life that maybe you're just not either paying attention to or you haven't looked back on to find those connections and to realize, like, oh wow, how amazing is this? And it's not just a coincidence that my mother thought to give me this. It was not a coincidence. Again, something whispered in her ear, just like I teach you guys that, at any point you can just open up and realize that, oh, an idea popped in my head. Well, somebody could have planted that. Or, oh, I'm struggling for this. And then I asked for help. And then all of a sudden I thought of something new, right? Same thing. Somebody planted that in my mother. Somebody said to her, buy this for both of your daughters, not just one of your daughters, so that they'll both have it, right? She assumed that someday she would still be here and she would, buy me a bunch of stuff the same way she was buying my sister a bunch of stuff for her house. But something made her do that, and that was not an accident. And so the magic really was happening even before she died. The magic was happening, and I can only see that now by looking back. And that's why one of the exercises that I share in the universe is talking to you is follow the footsteps, where I want you to go find these magical things in your own life, because when you start finding them and you start realizing them, your whole viewpoint changes. And now everything that you look at in the present and the future will be different because you're viewing it from a different lens. And I think that's why I like to share these stories with you too, because if they're happening in my life and if they're happening to me, then they're happening to you, or it's capable of happening in your own life. And so I want you to realize that, and I want it to boost your faith and your understanding that everything is connected and everything is happening and for your benefit and for your highest good. And there's so much magic. We just have to start tuning into it. We just have to start paying attention to it. And then everything changes. Everything changes. So thank you, Mama Marianne. I don't know why something got stuck here. For those gifts. And thank you guys for being here again and listening. And I hope these stories sort of inspired you and made you realize how powerful our loved ones are, how powerful the universe is, and how magical things can be when we start looking for these things and noticing them and accepting them and saying yes to them instead of saying, oh, what a coincidence, or oh, whatever it might be. So that's the story. I will be back here next week. I will be talking all about getting unstuck, because the Get Unstuck Toolkit is coming out, you guys. Only $37. I'm so excited about it. I cannot wait for you guys to start using this and seeing a difference in your life and seeing changes for the positive and moving forward. And it's going to be awesome. So thank you all for being here. I will be back again next week. If you have any type of sign, share it in the comments. Let me know, like, what is something, that happened to you, or what is something that you can look back on and realize maybe the universe was setting you up for something, because it's happening to all of us. So share them in the comments below as well. And I will see you guys all next week, Thursday at noon Eastern. And thank you for being here. Have a beautiful and amazing weekend filled with signs, paying attention, and then share them with me, because I always love to hear them. Bye, everybody.